Time to take your cat to the vet. Does he run and hide as soon as you bring up the carrier from the basement?
Yes, he does. I'm sure a lot of cat owners, too, are saying yes at home. Well, today, tips to make your trips out of the house a lot less stressful on your kitty. Do you hear it? There's the meow. Right on cue, Leann Boucha is back from HAWS to guide us through some simple steps, and she has an adoptable putty tat with her. Who's this?
Dude, this is Fugazi.
Oh,
Fugazi.
Wow.
And he is the perfect example.
He wants to come to me.
Are you having a hard time?
Yeah. It's a big, with all these lights in here and cameras and everything.
Okay, I think he's gonna need a break.
She's ready. He's ready.
Go in your carrier?
There we go.
Oh, so look at this. Goes right in the carrier here.
Yeah, and maybe now today the carrier is the safe place for the lap.
So let's talk about that, because it's true. A lot of times when someone's got a cat and they want to bring him to the vet, which you got to do, you got to bring out the carrier, and they freak out. They run and hide. Getting them in the carrier is extremely difficult.
Yes, they can hide immediately upon it just coming out and them hearing the door or seeing it visually. Like you said, a lot of people can probably relate at home. This little guy is already chowing down, so apparently being in my lap and in the blanket was more stressful than going back in here where he felt safe.
Well, and are there things that you can do with your carrier to kind of foster a more positive, so that they, like this kitty, want to go into it?
Absolutely. So the reality is, let it stay out. Don't put it in a closet. Don't put it in the basement. Make sure that this stays a part of the cat's territory and a part of their familiar environment. Okay. You could put blankets in there so that it smells like them. It doesn't even have to be this big. This accommodates a litter box so that we can travel with it. It can. But you could put your kitty's favorite toys in there. You could feed them their meals. Like right now, he's going to town on some cat food, which is wonderful. So you can put catnip in there. You can even get a product called Feel Away.
Yes, I've used that.
Feel Away in there, or
it's the pheromones, right?
Exactly. So that way this is not so novel. It stays a part of their environment, and they can frequent it, go in and out when they want, and it doesn't just predict, we are going for a car ride, we're going to the vet.
Okay. Are there other ways of reacclimating them to it and training, and can you continue to train this all the time?
Yes, you can. It is much easier with a kitten. Start when they're young, start where, you know, this does not predict I'm going to the vet where I'm going to be poked and prodded. You could even gradually desensitize them to being lifted and carried around the house. So you pick them up, you have their meal in there, you carry them 2 feet, you put the carrier down, you open the door, you come right back out. It doesn't mean that once you're lifted, this starts this cycle of we go to the car starts, we drive away, we go to the vet, you get poked.
Gotcha.
The food thing is interesting to me, and I'm wondering, you know, should you potentially give them meals or snacks in the carrier,
or catnip
at other times, not just when you are going to be traveling or going to the vet?
Definitely. You don't want the food to predict also that a vet visit is imminent, excuse me. So if you feed them regularly, a lot of people free feed dry cat food, but you can actually put the cat food away so that the kitty has an appetite and provide some wet food, or provide them their dry food back in there. You can toss treats for them to find in there. Going into the crate should predict wonderful things. So the cat food going in there can happen regularly. You can feed them their meals and their days.
This video is awesome.
Hearing all the cats and everything. In the car, is it ever okay to let your cat out of the carrier?
That's a good question. It depends on your prerogative for safety. Cats are going to move around a whole lot more than a dog, and I think there's a very high risk that they could get freaked out and go underneath, you know, where you're driving, and then by your feet, by the pedals. But at the same time, I do know some cats personally that have just hung out in the back window. Yeah. I don't know that it's a risk that I would want to take necessarily, but if you need to work on the carrier desensitization, make sure that you know that that car is also another step that you have to desensitize them to. The car being turned on, driving, etc. So it starts with the carrier, and then you can gradually move to the car as well.
And maybe do short trips too, you know, around the block, and then come home and have treats.
Exactly.
And I think you have to know your animal. You know, certain cats are different than others, and you have to know your pet before you allow them to put anyone at risk for not being safe.
Yes, I absolutely agree. And you know, for the kitties that are going to hide as soon as this comes out, you know, the car might be 2, 3, 4 months down the road until they already just feel safer going back into.
I love the video. You got HAWS in the Hamptons. This is your big fall fundraiser for kitties like this one to keep supporting all the wonderful work that you do. It's happening October 19th. That's happening from 6 to 10 p.m. and that's at the Marriott West, which is located in Waukesha. So make sure you check that out. We're going to give the website in just a second here, but put the 19th of October in your calendar because that's going to be a great event to support, like we said, the wonderful work they do. You can call 262-542-8851 to find out more. HAWSpets.org is the website to visit, and they're located on Northview Road in Waukesha.
That's right. Thanks, Leann.